I used to tell people my hair just wouldn't cooperate anymore, like it had a mind of its own after 60. It didn't. I was cooperating with it wrong. Tonight I'm giving you 3 haircuts that genuinely soften a decade off your face, and 3 that are quietly working against you every single time you leave the house. Not trends. Not opinions. Just what actually happens to bone structure, skin, and light after 60, and which cuts respect that instead of fighting it. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and the best fixes for women over 50 so you get real results fast. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every week. Part 1. 2 haircuts to embrace. The soft-framed bob and the layered shag. Here's something most women never hear from their stylist. The haircut that made you look put together at 40 might be the exact one aging you now. It's not about the cut being outdated. It's about gravity, bone density loss around the jaw, and the fact that skin catches light differently at 60 than it did at 35. The same blunt, chin-length bob that once looked crisp can now sit like a heavy frame around a softer jawline, drawing every eye straight to it. That's the first cut to reconsider. The rigid one-length bob. If you're wearing it, you probably know the feeling. You catch your reflection in a shop window and something looks harder than you meant it to. The fix is the soft-framed bob. Same length family, completely different construction. Ask your stylist for a jaw-grazing bob with feathered ends and internal layering around the face, no blunt perimeter line. That single phrase changes everything. The layering breaks up the hard edge, so instead of a frame that boxes your face in, you get movement that draws the eye toward your eyes and cheekbones instead of your jaw. Here's the part that surprised me when I first dug into this. Feathered layering doesn't just soften the shape, it changes how light bounces off your face. Blunt ends create a flat, matte plane that absorbs light and makes shadows sit heavier under the cheekbones. Feathered layers scatter light in small broken movements, which is the same principle a good highlighter uses on skin. Your hair starts doing what your makeup does. That's the snapback most people never expect. People will start telling you that you look rested, not that you got a haircut. That's the tell it's working. The second cut on the embrace list is the layered shag, and this one surprises people because they assume shags are for younger women with thicker hair. Reversed. A modern, low-maintenance shag with face-framing pieces around the cheekbone and soft, undone layering through the crown is one of the most forgiving cuts for women over 60. Especially if your hair has thinned even slightly at the temples. The layering creates the illusion of volume exactly where density tends to drop first. Ask your stylist for a soft shag with face-framing layers starting at the cheekbone, minimal blunt ends, textured not razored. That last part matters. Razoring can make fine hair look wispy and thin rather than soft. Texturizing scissors leave more integrity in each strand. Before, a blunt bob so structured it reads almost architectural against a softened jaw. After, layered movement that frames without boxing, catching light instead of blocking it. That's the swap. And once you understand why layering does this, you'll start noticing it on every woman whose haircut just looks right for her age instead of fighting it. Which is exactly the kind of cut we're getting into next, because there's one more that does this even better than either of these two. Part 2, the third cut to embrace. The soft pixie with length on top. Most women rule out pixies the moment they hit 55, convinced short hair reads as severe. That's backwards. A pixie cut with length on top is actually one of the gentlest things you can do for a softening jawline, because it removes weight entirely instead of trying to disguise it. Here's the part almost nobody explains. Long hair, even shoulder length, creates a visual line that runs straight down past the jaw and pulls the eye toward it. It's basic geometry. A vertical line next to a horizontal change in your jawline emphasizes exactly the thing you're trying to minimize. Cut that vertical line off at the right point, and the emphasis disappears with it. The cut to ask for is specific. A pixie with 3 to 4 inches of length on top for texture and movement, closely tapered at the sides and back, longer front pieces that can be swept to one side. The length on top is what keeps it from reading masculine or severe. It gives you something to style, something with movement, while the tapered sides do the actual work of opening up your jawline and neck. I want to tell you about a woman I styled advice for last year. She'd worn the same chin-length bob for almost 20 years, and when she finally went pixie, she called it the first haircut where I stopped adjusting my face to match my hair. That's the exact shift this cut produces. You're not covering anything anymore. You're not tucking, angling your chin, or turning slightly away in photos. The length on top gives you a soft, feminine focal point, and the shorter sides let your bone structure just exist without a curtain of hair competing with it. The snapback here is real. People stop saying cute cut and start saying you look so light, because that's genuinely what's happening. You've removed pounds of visual weight your face was quietly carrying. One maintenance note, because this only works if it's kept up. This cut needs a trim every 5 to 6 weeks, not because the length matters much, but because the taper at the sides grows out fast and loses its clean line. Tell your stylist you want the taper maintained, not just the top trimmed. That's the line that keeps this cut looking sharp instead of grown out and shapeless. Before, shoulder-length hair with a hard vertical line drawing straight down past the jaw. After, a soft pixie with lifted top layers that opens the whole face instead of framing its softest points. That's 3 cuts down. Now for the harder part. The 3 that quietly do the opposite of everything we just covered, starting with one you've probably been told is classic, your whole life. Part 3, 2 haircuts to avoid. The long straight one length and the severe blunt bangs. Long straight, one length hair past the shoulders is the cut we're conditioned to think of as timeless. It isn't neutral, it's actively working against you after 60, and almost nobody tells you why in plain terms. Hair density drops as we age, especially through the mid-lengths and ends. When you keep length all one weight with no layering, that thinning becomes more visible, not less, because there's nothing breaking up the strand pattern. The hair hangs limp instead of moving, and limp hair next to a face with softened contours reads as tired, even when you're not. If you're wearing this cut right now, you already know the moment. You catch yourself in a mirror under overhead lighting, and your hair looks flat in a way it never used to. The fix isn't cutting it all off. Tell your stylist, keep the length, but add long layers starting at the cheekbone with a face-framing money piece. You get to keep the length you love while giving the hair somewhere to move. The snapback is subtle but real. The same length styled with movement photographs a solid 5 years younger than the flat version, because movement reads as energy and flatness reads as fatigue. Now the second cut to avoid, and this one surprises people because it's marketed as youthful. Severe, blunt eyebrow skimming bangs. On a 25-year-old, blunt bangs can look playful. On a mature face, that same hard, straight line does something different. It creates a rigid horizontal border that competes with the natural softening happening around your eyes and brow, and it actually draws more attention to fine lines on the forehead by framing them like a picture frame frames a photo. Here's the mechanic nobody explains. Skin around the eyes changes texture and light reflection first, before almost anywhere else on the face. A hard bang line sits directly above that zone and pulls the eye right to it, the opposite of what you want. The fix is a soft, side-swept curtain bang. Say to your stylist, curtain bangs parted at the center, longer at the outer corners, blended into the layers rather than blunt cut across. This creates an open, airy frame instead of a hard border. It softens the forehead instead of highlighting it. Women tell me this swap is the one that gets the most comments, because curtain bangs do something blunt bangs never can. They part naturally around the face, so you get a soft V-shape instead of a hard horizontal line. And that V-shape actually lifts the whole upper face visually. Before, flat, one-length hair with a heavy blunt bang line pinning attention to the forehead. After, long layers with movement and a soft curtain bang opening the whole eye area. 2 down. There's one more mistake left, and it's the one I see more than almost any other on women over 60, because it doesn't look like a mistake at all. It looks like caution. Part 4. The third cut to avoid. The overlayered safe short crop. This is the one I promised you. The mistake that disguises itself as playing it safe. Most women over 60 who go short do it out of fear, not intention, and they ask their stylist to just make it easy, without any real direction. What they get is an overlayered, choppy short crop with no shape at all. Layers cut short and uniform all over, no length variation, nothing left long enough to style or move. It looks tidy in the chair. It looks shapeless by the second day. Here's why this specific mistake is so common and so invisible to the person wearing it. When you ask for low maintenance, most stylists interpret that as cut everything the same short length so there's nothing to manage. But hair with zero length variation has nowhere to fall, nowhere to move, and nothing to frame your face with. It sits like a uniform cap rather than a cut. And a uniform cap next to mature facial contours reads as severe and aging, exactly the opposite of what safe was supposed to deliver. The fix is what stylists call an architectural crop. Still short, still low maintenance, but built with intention instead of just trimmed uniformly. Say exactly this. A short crop with longer disconnected layers on top, shorter graduated sides, and one piece left long enough to style forward or to the side. That one instruction, leaving a single stylable piece, changes the entire cut from flat to sculpted. The snapback moment here matters, because this is the one people notice most in real life, not just on camera. A crop with real shape catches light across its layers instead of absorbing it flat, so under normal room lighting, not studio lighting, it reads as intentional and current instead of like hair that got out of your way. I've had women tell me strangers started asking where they get their hair done, when for years nobody had commented on their hair at all. That's the difference between a haircut and a shape. Maintenance-wise, this cut still only needs a trim every 6 to 7 weeks, so you keep the low-effort benefit you wanted in the first place. You just stop sacrificing shape to get it. Before, a flat, uniform short crop with no length variation and nowhere for the eye to land. After, an architectural crop with disconnected layers and one stylable piece that catches light and holds shape. That's all 6. 3 cuts working with your face, 3 quietly working against it. And once you see the pattern, you'll never look at a haircut the same way again. You now know exactly what separates a haircut that softens your face from one that's quietly aging you. It's never about short versus long. It's about weight, layering, and where the light lands. That's stylist-level knowledge most women never get handed straight like this. So tell me honestly in the comments. Which of these 6 were you already wearing, the soft shag, the curtain bang, or that safe crop that wasn't so safe after all? Next week I'm breaking down the exact color placements that do the same thing for gray hair that layering just did for these cuts. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I'll see you in the next one.